And welcome to another Friday edition of Tampa Home Talk. I'm your host, Katrina Meadwell, joined by my favorite sidekicks ever, Mr. Leo King.
Adam Talley.
Adam Talley. I guess A
When she said
does
favorite,
come before L.
When she said favorite, I figured it was you, Adam.
Oh,
This is
no,
Leo
it's
King.
definitely
Engineering
you,
and
Leo.
inspection and baby proofing.
You guys are so cute. I love it. My favorite sidekicks. And we got some guests for hour one, too. And let's see, we'll chat with her. So we have Jennifer, is it Ferguson. Okay. She is with Luxury Bath of Tampa Bay. They are a full-service bathroom remodel. Can't wait to talk all about that with you. And let's dive into the numbers, shall we, Leo?
Love the numbers. New listings are on the rise. Well,
Yeah,
slightly,
I think
slightly.
Well, 'tis the season, right? Like this is the time where if you're going to hit the market, you do it. Starting to see an influx of new listings coming up myself.
That's
so
good,
I'm starting,
right?
That is
so
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a listing this strong since spring break.
That's okay.
Now our
we had some in the
prices,
900s.
are prices leveling out, or are they still skyrocketing?
They're still going up. I mean, I'm not seeing as many full appraisal waivers. Mm-hmm. When we're seeing appraisal waivers, usually they're on really beautiful, pristine properties. Those are the ones that are getting it. And essentially they are putting a cap on that.
That's good.
Well, I'm still seeing, and Adam, are you seeing this? I'm still seeing a sharp increase in, I just moved into my home, I'm filing an insurance claim on the rise.
We do get those phone calls. However, we don't cover for pre-existing damage. So if it was there before you got there, then there's not really anything that's going to be covered because it starts on the day that the policy starts.
I was just wondering if you were seeing it like we are. I mean, we're getting an average of 2 or 3 calls in a week, and it's like, I moved into home 3 months ago. The storm rolled through, my roof shot.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's why the carriers are getting so tight on their underwriting guidelines.
What's your response to that, Leo? We told you that in the inspection. Did you see page 25?
No, we asked for these are clients that we didn't do the home inspection for. We
Oh,
asked for
got
the
it.
home inspection report before we take them on as a client.
So what did?
So this is for the insurance
This is the
claim
insurance
side.
claim
Okay.
side.
So
of things.
what are you seeing as far? So you're getting the inspection report that they had done. Was it not done well, or was it?
Was it noted?
Here's the gray area. Let's say you have, and this was a difficult one because I had this happen to me 2 days ago. I get the home inspection report, and the home inspection report says the roof is fine. I can see from the pictures, which were taken from a distance, I can see damage. So which way do I go on that one? Home inspector did a bad job. Homeowner is kind of out of luck, or
Storm actually rolled in and did some
Storm
damage.
actually rolled in and did damage because the home inspector didn't find it. That's the gray area that we're entering because I'm seeing how there's a lot of really bad inspection companies out there.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I guess my question is, they had the inspection done. How old was the house? Let me ask that.
Now these are the typical 15 to 25-year-old houses.
Okay, so they had the inspection done, but the carrier didn't need a 4-point. Is that what we're assuming?
In some cases yes, and in some cases no. The carrier has a 4-point where the inspector says it's satisfactory.
Well, if the carrier has the 4-point, then that's
okay.
their
Yeah,
their
it's on
job
them.
to either
Check it.
pay it or go back after the inspector.
And that's why
I don't even know if they can do
and
that.
that's
you know?
the stance the lawyers that I'm speaking to about this are taking. They're like, well, the insurance company had a copy of the 4-point report. They had a copy of the wind mitigation report, and they still wrote coverage.
Right.
So they acknowledged the roof was fine.
Was
then.
satisfactory to.
And the challenge with inspections, and I'm sure it's the same for you, Leo, every inspection company is going to have a limit of liability equal to the cost of the inspection, right?
Well, anyone that's InterNACHI, FABI, or NAHI, which are the federations that govern home inspection, if you're a member of one of those using one of their standard agreements, you do. I know back in the day, we were actually working for a law firm going after home inspectors on behalf of an insurance company for if they didn't have that contract, they were going after them like hard. That group put several home inspection companies out of business.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I'm not going to mention any.
Yeah, you
Right,
have
right.
to.
Well, I mean, I don't know. And then I guess the other thing on that with the people that are filing claims, are any of them inspected by the insurance carrier?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like,
If they do their own inspection, that's really, really on them.
yeah, a buddy of mine actually is opening his own insurance company, not a broker, but the actual company itself, and he's telling me about the super funding and everything else he's attached to. But his big thing is he's going to use us to do the pre-inspections, and then he's going to use us to do once a year inspection because he did the math. Paying us to go out to a property once a year
Is cheaper than a claim.
is much cheaper than
7
a
or 8
claim,
years down the road.
especially if we're documenting existing conditions.
Right. That's
Makes
really
sense.
smart.
Yeah.
Keep me posted on that guy.
I will, but he's only going to be doing commercial properties.
I write commercial insurance, so we're good there.
Awesome. I'll put you in touch with him.
That's where it makes sense, where people start literally rethinking how things are operating, and like from a business perspective, what makes sense and what doesn't. You know, I'll tell you something amazing. That house that I went to this week that I'm going to be listing, the lady, I told you the grandma was like 105 years old. She was born in 1915. But the point of this house is the roof was redone in the 70s. And he's just getting ready to redo the roof. Like, that roof is really old. And I'm
Shingle
like,
or
you don't have
tile?
any leaks? Shingle. I'm like, you have no leaks? He's like, nope, no leaks. And I didn't see anything inside. I'm not in the attic, but.
My grandparents' roof, they had a tile roof, and it made it from when they built it in the late 60s until like 2014 or something like that.
But that's
Like,
tile. It lasts longer.
There are several houses on my street that are 100-year-old tile roofs. They're the asbestos tile,
Yeah, which nobody wants to touch.
but they're still there and they're still not leaking. I
Yeah.
inspect those like once a year because the insurance company is like, your roof's 100 years old. And I inspect them once a year to produce 4 points. They're not leaking. They're in awesome condition.
Does that pass a 4-point with an old asbestos roof? I guess
Why
it
wouldn't
does if it doesn't
If it's
leak. I'm just
maintained-
asking a question.
If it's maintained, it's leak free. Why would I want to fail that, Adam?
you wouldn't. It's a good roof. Why?
Yeah, so this shingle roof has got to be
That's crazy.
40 years
Are there
old.
any granules left on that shingle roof?
I didn't look at it that close, and it was kind of like a bunch of big trees over it. So
You would think the trees would have decayed the roof.
It's
Yeah.
actually a thatch roof at this point because the leaves have turned into
no, there's
roof
not
cover.
leaves on it. It's not that.
I did see a
It's not
roof on
bad.
an inspection, and it had, you don't see it very often, but it's all like wide, huge, flat concrete tiles. The person did not want to buy that house, but it was it was a unique roof for sure. I actually saw a house the other day that had a poured concrete roof.
I like poured
Like it was
concrete.
in the Keys, and it was like built like superior construction, but it's
Yeah,
only 2
that's-
stories.
That's
wrong.
what you want. You want poured concrete with a painted
the
weatherproofing,
white painted white roof.
painted white roof. That is the way of the future. Less impact on the environment because it uses less trees. The white roof, solar reflectivity.
Honestly, I think that's all it would take. Well, let me rephrase that. We have another year like 04. We could see significant standards, but you can't just throw a concrete roof on top of some of these other structures.
I'm still pushing my white roof agenda. I mean, if you want to combat global warming and replace solar ice caps, which we're losing all that white surface on the planet, white roofs are the way to go.
White roofs.
White roofs.
yeah, I don't
should
think
run
people
for
are going to
mayor.
go
I
for
wanna
it.
on the white
It's
roof.
too dirty.
I want to whitewash America.
All right.
in roofs.
So to wrap up our numbers on segment 1, we pull all single-family home sales in 3 counties, so Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, and Pasco County. And the number of new ones right now on the market as of this morning was 811. The number of sold properties in the last 7 days was 1,094. And the number of pending home sales in the last 7 days is 1,138. So we're running pretty steady on the numbers here.
I'd love to see how many of those. I wish they did numbers like that, but how many of the 811 that are listed today are pending by tomorrow?
I mean, we can track that data, but it's not fun. We can definitely do that.
Because
now that
I'll
we
look at that and
Now
tell
that
you
we
next
have
week.
Mimu back in as
Right.
a radio coordinator, she could track that data for
because
us.
I just like because I know like a lot of homes, they go on the market on a Friday, and with the market the way it is right now, it's like boop,
We typically
deal by
hold,
the end of the day.
We typically hold till Monday. So you could take one Friday, but honestly, if I was representing you as your seller, I would say hold an open house on Saturday. Let's get the traffic over the weekend, and by Monday, make a decision.
Yeah, but you're just holding open houses to pick up more buyers for other listings.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are.
No, we are not.
Look at all those balloons on the wall.
Nope. I will tell you, most of the buyers that come through open houses have a realtor, and we protect the buyer agency always. Realtors can send their clients through our open houses, and we will never, ever try to take their buyer, ever.
I thought that's what the red balloons were in your little wall thing.
Nope. Nope. So their buyer agency is always protected. And really, it makes sense for the seller, right? Because they want the maximum exposure, the most number of showings. Now, does it always happen that way? No. Sometimes that's the plan. And sometimes the seller gets an offer that they just love and they don't want to wait till Monday. They
So
just
do you
want to
have
take it.
food at your open houses?
We have snacks,
Are
usually
you
in water.
Are you a
Yeah.
bake the cookies
No,
in the oven so the house
snacks and
smells
water.
like
We have a little snack and
cookies?
some water. So listen, I know we
No
give out
alcohol at
these.
your
No
house?
alcohol. We give out these. Maybe when it's Pat George's house, we'll do alcohol, but not normally. So we give out the numbers every week. But if you want an actual market value on your home, you can text the word value, and I'll give you a pinpoint market analysis. If I have a wide range, I might need to come see it, but I'll give you a really good CMA with a range and value. Just call or text value to 813-377-2775. Again, call or text value to 813-377-2775. Again, 813-377-2775.
Well, good morning. Welcome home. This is Leo Kane with Barrel Engineering and Inspection, bringing us in.
I love Pat George. He's the
to
best
a-
producer ever,
Keeps
isn't he?
you on your
Blind-
toes
yes.
for sure. Good thing.
All right, so let's introduce our
There we go.
guest.
Now we got the music back. Let's introduce our guest. Wait, it's our outline says I give a tip of the week. at
You
some
do
point.
give a tip of the week.
Is that
your
now?
Tip of, yeah,
Oh, it is
what's
now.
your tip of the week? Tips. Give me a tip.
tip.
Are you doing commercial?
Yeah.
Commercial tip
No.
of the week. Well, in honor of Shark Con, which is going on this weekend, and
In
honor-
Orlando.
No, it's here in Tampa.
Oh, good
It's
for
at
us.
the fairgrounds. And in honor of the fact that Richard Dreyfuss will be speaking at the presentation of Jaws, I figured now is a great time to talk about seawalls.
All right.
All right.
What you got?
So, basically, you have seawalls.
Yes, I'm aware of
so
them.
Tell us about the seawalls, Leo.
The trick with
You don't say.
The trick with seawalls is most of the seawalls, if you've got an original one, are going to be between 40 and 60 years old right now. They're all at the end of their useful life. That's down in Apollo Beach. That's over in St. Pete. That's over in like Gulf Shore, all these areas. So if you're getting an original seawall, you need to have it inspected. And things you need to be looking for is stand on the dock, look back at the wall, and see if you see the wall bulging. Walk along the pathway where your seawall meets your grass and see if there's just big voids, like holes, at that point of interconnection. If you have a bulge at your seawall, or if there's like right next to the wall, your grass is missing and you can like put a ruler down, go like,
Bad sign.
those are two signs that you'll need a new seawall. And seawalls are expensive.
I was going to say those are not cheap.
Those can be
What are those running? I know it depends on how many feet and all that stuff.
You got to figure for like an average 125 foot backyard, you can be looking at $30,000-$40,000.
And that's
Yeah,
to
it wasn't
completely redo it, go all the way down with the metal, not like a rip wrap type of.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they'll try and convince you to do a rip wrap, which is like, hey, we'll just throw some rocks in front of your wall and it'll keep it standing. True, but now you've created a bunch of rocks in front of your wall, which takes away from the ability to swim, and it's only a temporary fix. But yeah, like Adam's saying, to make a taller wall, because they're all going to be required to be taller, you're going to have a metal cap or a concrete cap. You're going to have sheet piles going in. That's the wall replacement.
Some of that water, whew, I don't know if I want to swim in that. Have you
Yeah.
seen some of the water off some of those docks?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. So the tip, back to the tip, basically, if you have a seawall, take a look at it. Ask when the last time it was upgraded. If you're a 40-year plus seawall, if you're original, if you look at the seawall in the backyard and your neighbors to both sides, their wall is taller than yours, odds are you're
Pay attention to that. Okay.
you're $30 to $40,000.
So you do seawall inspections. If that's a home on the water, do you automatically include that, or is that an add-on?
That's what I was going to ask.
That's
is
an
if-
extra.
If Barrel Engineering Inspections inspects the seawall.
For our home inspections, we do charge extra for the seawall.
And most inspectors don't inspect seawalls.
No, most inspectors can't because it's all structural.
So it's an engineering thing. So you need
So you have to send one of your
an
engineer
inspector
inspectors
that
out?
is an engineer.
Well, you need an inspector that's with an engineering company. All of our guys are trained in seawalls,
Got it.
Gotcha.
It's because the engineers are proofing their work, right?
pretty much.
Got it.
But
All
yeah,
right.
so that's your tip of the week. And if you want to come visit me, I'll be at Shark Con this weekend from 1 to 5.
Of course you will be.
And it'll be fun. I'll be hanging out with Eric from the Florida Aquarium.
Awesome.
Look at you. Go. Have
They
fun.
even plug the Florida Aquarium.
Have
He's
to.
a donor,
What's his
vendor,
place?
one of the things.
We're a major sponsor.
Major sponsors.
Major
There we
sponsor.
go. Attaboy. Let's
All
talk
right.
about baths.
So yes, Jennifer Ferguson, she is with us this morning with Luxury Bath of Tampa Bay and their full service bathroom remodel. So let's talk a little bit about you guys. Tell me about your company. How long you been around? How long have you been with them?
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I wanted to thank you so much for having me.
We're glad you're here.
It's-
Who doesn't want to talk about renovating their bathroom?
Right? Oh, it's so
Now's the
much fun.
time, right?
I love it, and Before I got involved in bathroom remodeling, I had no idea what goes into it. And you really don't. You get into your shower in the morning, you turn on the water, great, you dry off, you put on your makeup, you're done. Lots of things go into bathrooms.
Some of these showers, whoo, like this one I saw yesterday. Oh my goodness, it was well water and the whole thing was not even orange. It was like black. They need a full reno on that place.
Yeah, I'm sure. We'll give
I'm
them
sure
my
you guys
number.
have renovated
Give them
some
my
of
number.
those.
We have. We have been in business for over 30 years, and my location in Palm Harbor has been there since 2005. The way I found out about luxury bath is my mother's in a wheelchair, so I wanted to remove the tub and put in a zero barrier shower floor.
So just the straight in shower.
Yeah, exactly.
Rolls right in.
Where she has a waterproof wheelchair, so we could just bring her in comfortably. So when I had a consultant come out, I kind of fell in love with the entire thing. I fell in love with the consultant and the product and how honest they are and how they were able to show me the best way to configure everything. And I decided it was a company that I wanted to work for and be with. And
Nice.
It's amazing.
So you were a customer first and then
Correct.
became an employee.
Correct.
That is pretty awesome. I
Yeah.
love that. So how long have you been there?
I've only been there 2 years.
Okay.
But
And what did you
it's-
do before that? Any experience?
So I've been in sales and marketing for many, many years and worked in a lot of different call centers, setting up different projects, testing products and things along those lines.
So is this your role here at Luxury Bath, or are you doing something different?
I wear a lot of hats, and I love it. I love to stay busy. I run the showroom, which is located in Palm Harbor, and it's a beautiful showroom. I do all of the home shows and all events, and just
I tell you, talking
Get us
about
up there.
removing the bath, that's like a trend now because a lot of the builders are not building homes with the bathtub. So when people remodel, I'm seeing a lot of people just bump out the tub and build these bigger showers.
I have to tell you, our biggest request is removing bathtubs and
Yeah, I
converting
can
to
see that.
walk-in showers.
Yep.
It's as we get, our young age of 21, wink, wink. As we age, it's not always that easy to climb over the bathtub or, sit down in the bathtub or get out of the bathtub. I always tell my husband when I used to have one, if I'm in there for longer than 30 minutes, I can't get out. So come get me.
My wife is the opposite though. She wants one of the you have to have
Soaking
a
tub?
bathroom big enough to support it, but where it like stands alone. Yeah, the whole deal.
Well,
not
I
like
can
in
tell
the
you
wall.
this. She wants this now because you guys are dinks with no kids. And the
Right.
minute you have kids and you have life, there's just no time for that.
Exactly.
Well, if we don't have any kids, we can afford the bathroom.
There
with
you
the
go.
tub.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, we can put beautiful bathtubs in, but I will tell you our biggest request is to remove bathtubs, install big, beautiful walk-in showers.
Doing the subway tiles all the way up, is that still very
Subway
popular?
has become so popular again. And we use a product that is an acrylic product. It's infused with a microban, so it will never mold, mildew, stain.
Nice.
Like the red water.
Our,
rust
our
you're
inspector
talking about.
likes that.
Yeah, it's an amazing.
So are you guys
product.
doing just acrylic? Or are you doing any tile?
We just do acrylic.
Okay, so is it all in one piece?
Nope, everything is custom cut to fit your walls because we know with the one-piece system, no walls are exactly perfect. I don't know if I offended the inspector or something.
No.
But
He's not even
Unfortunately,
paying
he knows how the contractors
Yeah.
are. None of the walls have a perfect 90-degree angle.
exactly. So we custom cut everything to fit your walls.
So and this is really a loaded question because it depends on the bathroom, right? How big it is, how much you're doing, all that sort of stuff. Give me a range on what a bathroom remodel costs, what you guys are doing, and how long that takes.
Okay. So what we do is we schedule the appointment. The design consultant will come out and spend some time with the customer, basically bring the showroom to the customer. All the samples and everything that we offer.
So they're walking through and saying, yeah, I want to rip out this tub and make this big shower. and-
Correct. We
Got
will
it.
measure everything. We will even show, if a customer has an idea and we think that it might be better to go maybe this way or a different way. We'll give them different options.
Well, they don't see it like you guys see it because you're used to going in and looking at the before and then
Right.
the after. And some of these older bathrooms really need like a
They really
space
do.
redesign.
They really do.
So you're pushing out walls sometimes?
We can, absolutely. We're licensed contractors and plumbers, so we can take down walls, of course not load bearing, but we can.
Those can actually come down too,
They
but
just need a beam.
I don't think
you
we
just
want-
need the
I don't know
engineer.
why
I think
people
we
are
want
so
to do all
scared
that.
of load-bearing walls. It's just a beam.
I don't think we want to do that, but we can make showers larger and
Well, we're only laughing because, like, literally, we talk about that, and
It's
and
not
I
that
bought a
hard.
property I'm still renovating. We took out the load-bearing wall.
But you took out the wall before you got us involved.
Well, it was all supported. It's fine.
So question for you, kind
Yes.
of bringing it full circle here. Obviously, you guys do you guys do handicap accessible stuff, right? Because mom needed it.
Absolutely. We install the zero barrier shower pans, and we have all of the safety grab bars and benches, and we specialize in that. We specialize in the
So
ADA.
when we come back, we're going to talk about like 5 of the most similar bathrooms that she's renovated.
Okay.
We'll go
I
through
like
kind
that.
of what that process and change look like before and after, and then we'll get into a range and price. Fair enough?
Love it.
All right.
Let's do it.
And if you want some information about Jennifer and Luxury Bath, just call or text Bath to 813-377-2775. 813-377-2775. If you got questions for Jennifer, good time to call or text those in. 813-377-2775. We will be back right after this quick break, so stick around. And, by the way, Leo, did not take out that wall before you guys came because your guy Luis came and marked all the walls with me. Just thought I'd clear that up. All right.
And welcome home. This is Tampa Home Talk. I'm Adam Talley with Talley Insurance with your insurance tip of the week.
What
and
you got?
Well, we talked about it's been a recurring theme how expensive insurance has gotten, and some people, especially if they're buying cash for these rental properties, they might be thinking, "Hey, maybe I'll self-insure." Well, the one thing you should not self-insure on is liability, right? Because if somebody comes in and they go to that bath and it's not renovated by Luxury Baths, they're going to slip, they're going to fall, they're going to sue you. And if you don't have any liability coverage, you might be not owning that house anymore, really.
What would that be like, Adam? Like I don't know, let's say a 2,000 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath home.
For
No
liability?
pool, basic,
No
no
liability?
dogs. Yeah, what do you think that might be?
It would probably be somewhere around $300 or $400. It wouldn't be that much.
Wow, that's definitely worth not taking that risk.
And if you own multiple, it's cheaper. Like the more you own, the cheaper it is per unit, basically.
So quick
Because
insurance.
you're going to hit some minimum premiums.
I do have a quick insurance question.
Okay, I have a
we're
quick
seeing-
insurance answer.
We're seeing so many of these people elect to basically self-insure. Are you seeing how the sinkhole coverage kind of went away, right? In a lot of parts of Pasco, and they went to catastrophic ground collapse.
Correct.
Are you guys doing any type of insurance like that where they can't make like these little itty bitty claims for the roof? They can't make, claims for this and that, but it's like a catastrophic insurance event, like a storm comes through and
I mean, the only
wipes it out 75%. Are you guys doing anything like that? Because that would really fill a big void in the insurance market. That's what I'm asking.
there's different coverage forms. Like your standard homeowners form is a special form, and that's going to cover a lot more than a DP1 or a DP2, which would be more basic.
That's insurance language again.
Yeah, but it's basically just one includes everything except for what it tells you it excludes, and the other only includes what it tells you it includes and excludes everything else. But really, what you're kind of talking about would be if you want to go catastrophic and you're trying to drive your rate down, that'd really just be increasing your deductible.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
at
but
a certain
with
point,
those deductibles, it doesn't. You can increase it, but it's not a huge. What's the highest deductible you can get? 5,000.
Depends on how big your house is.
So we're using the 2,000
The
square
2,000
foot,
square
3-2
Yeah,
house.
5,000 would probably be the max with most carriers. I've seen some that'll go up to 10% for hurricane, though.
What's the range on the insurance for that? Like, how much would that cost?
I
know it depends on the roof and all that stuff, but can you give me a ballpark range?
It really can't, because it would even matter where it is in the state too, right?
Local, somewhere in Tampa, Brandon.
I don't know, for like a normal policy,
Yeah,
like
just a basic policy.
$2,000.
Okay, boy,
Like that's a good
insurance is climbing.
Well, and I'll tell you, when you go to listings, and for all the realtors out there and the mortgage professionals that are listening, go out with your clients with estimating that their insurance is going to be $2,400.
Wow.
They need to be budgeting for $200 a month
yeah.
for their insurance.
Gone are the days of $100.
Theoretically, we'll be able to find something less than that, but I
You
mean,
got a good cover,
if
good bumper.
you're good. I would be confident in saying we could find something for $2,400, right? So if you're trying to budget, and for those of you out there that bought a home recently and haven't had your renewals yet, start budgeting for $200 a month, because that's where your rate's headed.
Yeah, I know my homeowner's insurance went up. I don't know how much. I got to look at it. I forget, but
Yeah, probably about
went up
20-30%.
yeah, it did. It went up a lot. I remember talking about this on the show when I got the invoice.
Yeah.
Since I pay it once a year myself,
Right, yeah,
it's not
I get
included in
that.
my payment. But
It's all your money anyways, whether it's escrow or
yeah.
not,
Well, I don't escrow personally ever, but
Yeah.
because I think that just it's a mess that can wait to happen, and if you can control it, it's better not to do it.
You do get
just
some.
my opinion.
Well, I mean, I had a person and they have like 5 rental properties, and that New Res is their lender, and the renewal was on 7/15. Obviously, it's canceled, and their payment just posted yesterday. Even though when we saw that it was canceling in the beginning of June, we said, hey, you guys need to overnight the check. And they said, oh, yeah, we'll overnight it. 3 weeks later.
So they have insurance or they don't?
Well, it was canceled, but
They
the
reinstated
good
it?
news is if you are mortgagee billed, the carrier usually
More of a grace period?
gives you a little bit of a grace period and will reinstate, because they're assuming you're paying your mortgage and it's the bank's fault.
Wow. Okay.
But
It
if a
is.
hurricane hit during
Here's
that
the
time,
thing that you
Which
can't
it did.
even.
We did have a hurricane during that time frame.
right?
You don't even get the option to non-escrow unless you put 20% down. So I don't
Right.
know how that makes sense. But anyway.
Yeah.
And most people are not going to not escrow unless they're good with money or they know how to balance it and save that difference for any
Yeah,
shortages. But
if you are concerned and you have the ability to pay for it, you can always pay for it yourself, and then they'll refund you what gets sent from
Yeah.
the escrow account. So
anyway, so we're back to with Jennifer
Baths.
Ferguson. Yeah, luxury
Don't
bath
slip
at
and fall
Tampa Bay.
in there.
We did. I know I was asking about like the remodel, and that is such a loaded question. We were talking about that after the break, and we feel like, or you feel like that range is just so wide, and it depends on the scope of the project.
That's
Since you guys are general contractors and plumbers, and if you're moving walls, it's unfair to give that. So why don't we give that huge range? Like, what's the cheapest bathroom renovation you did, and what all did you do, and what's the most expensive one you've done, and what all did you do? And then we have a question from one of our listeners.
It's a really, really great question. And of course, it's super hard to answer. I will say that we have remodeled bathrooms in manufactured homes for $20,000 manufactured homes all the way up to $5 million homes and kind of everything in between.
So, I mean, a $20,000 manufacturer home, you're probably not doing much other than
We
the
replace
tub and
the
the
shower
right? Yeah.
walls, a lot of times take the tub out, and it just all depends. A lot of it depends on the product that the customer picks out also.
Right.
We have magnificent colors and
Do you
design.
guys do marble stuff?
We have marble-like. So
Wow.
it looks like marble, but it is acrylic.
Okay.
But our designs look like marble or travertine or
Gotcha.
I mean, that stuff is nice. I had our last home that we lived in. It's been a long time ago now, like 20 years ago. But when we redid the bathroom, we did that. We did the acrylic overlay over the tile and then the tub. And it was like that old 1950s blue
Yeah.
oh yeah.
tile.
Have you ever done? So you've done manufactured housing.
Sure.
Have you ever done a recreational vehicle?
We do not. Yeah, we don't do
'Cause
the
you
recreational.
get those big ones. That
I
are like,
know.
those
Some
are
of those
like,
cost
those are
more
like
than
$2 million.
houses.
I know
Like,
they
there's some
do.
really
I
expensive
know they
ones.
do. Yeah,
That's
they're
crazy.
just. I think it requires some different mechanics or.
Yeah, also a loaded question, right? Depending on what they're doing.
Thanks.
But the time frame, like how long does it usually take you guys
So
to
of
get?
course it depends again on what you're getting. Also, great question. We can normally do a bathroom conversion, like a tub to shower conversion, within 1 to 2 days.
Okay.
Okay, that's
So
not
it's
too bad.
we'll
Now, if
ne-
it's super
we'll never
crazy
leave
and
you
you're-
without a bathroom.
If you're moving walls, it's going to be a little longer.
It'll be a little
obviously.
longer.
Yeah.
And we also do vanities. We do flooring outside of the shower. Everything basically in the bathroom that you could possibly need, we could pretty much do. So that might take a little bit longer as well.
What's the time frame from, like, let's say me and my wife come to you this afternoon and say, hey, we want to do a bathroom, right? I want to redo our bathroom. What's the time frame from that conversation to we got that new bathroom?
So once the consultant comes in and you guys pick everything out, of course, again, it kind of depends on what you pick and
How long it
the
takes you to make a
ordering
decision.
and-
I'm a sleep on it
exactly,
guy because I've made too many decisions split second, and I like to sleep on it
I have
now.
to tell you something. We love sleep on it customers because they think we don't want anybody to make, a decision.
rash
You don't have to
bathroom
come back in a month and be like,
Exactly.
"Nah, I
We
hate
don't want
this."
anyone to do that. We are there. We'll come out 3-4 times, answer questions. You can come to the
This is
showroom.
me talking about the wrap of my car. It's taking me a month to pick a color.
You're gonna,
I get
you're
it.
gonna wrap the
I'm wrapping it, yeah.
With what?
Hold on. Well,
Okay, sorry, all right,
I
all
do
right.
have.
I
some
have a
customers
question
like
from
that.
our listener that
Yes.
actually ties in really great with what we're saying, and I totally my fault. Squirrel, dang it.
And I'm guilty of it too.
So what? This is so like right on time. The question we got. So thank you very much to our listener that asked it. But they want to know if the workers keep the home clean while they're working, because so many of them are sloppy. They leave stuff behind. We see this. I mean, I've had
Yeah.
to clean up around my own home from construction workers or whatever. Like you just see them, like their job sites just are not clean. And I think that's a lot of people's biggest complaints, especially if they're living in the home, and then the ones that are super clean, they get referred. Like I had a plumber that just did a really good job and cleaned up after himself. And they're like, I had a couple older people that are like, I want him back. He's the only one I'm
sure.
letting in my house.
So a great question, and thank you so much for asking. We are known as that company that covers everything. We have the paper when we walk in. We only walk on paper. Everything is covered, and then everything is cleaned up when we leave.
So even in between, while they're working on it, can take several days. They're cleaning at the
Correct.
end of the day before
Correct.
they come back.
Correct.
Nice.
So
and
paper, so
also-
they get a big roll and
They
just
do,
roll it from
and
the
they-
door to the.
Pretty
Haven't you
much.
seen that, like in new
I
home
have,
construction?
yeah, I have.
Okay.
We don't, our guys are walking in and out, and we don't want them
Muddy-
bringing
muddy
dust
boots.
and dirt and things like that. The other thing is, our customers always compliment our installers. They go through a really extensive training, and our guys are wonderful, and they make sure that when they leave after the final inspection and everything's installed, that the only thing you're looking at when you come back into your home is your beautiful bathroom. You're not looking at dirt or dust or a broken mirror or something along those lines.
So then, is everybody, are all the contractors that work, are they all luxury bath employees? Or
They
there's
are.
no subs.
We
That's
do
important.
not subcontract.
That's important for quality.
How long have
control.
they been with you, especially with that training being so long? Like, how long's that training and how long do they stay?
So we really don't lose
People, they stay?
yeah, we really don't lose employees. The owner treats everybody like family. Super, super wonderful
That's good.
guy. His motto is, do the right thing even when no one's watching. So it's important that he loves family, and he makes sure that we all have enough time to be with our families and, enjoy our lives. He
Yeah.
understands that
That's-
it's
that's
not all
good.
about
Well, it's
work.
got to be that work-life balance.
Exactly.
It's not worth it.
But he's also, very customer centric. He wants to make sure that every customer is treated like family.
Yeah.
I would love to talk a little bit more about the acrylic versus tile, since
Okay.
that's all you guys do.
Yeah.
So tell me why you're pro acrylic.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've lived in Florida pretty much my entire life, and I grew up with tile, and anybody that's ever lived in one of the most humid states ever knows that grout loves mold, hates mold, but mold loves grout.
Yes.
It's that relationship. And you can't get rid of it once it's there. You can scrub and use harsh chemicals. It's not going away. I used to put, before I replaced my showers with acrylic, I used to put cotton balls dipped in Clorox bleach along the base. And I'm not a dirty person, but
Right. You wanna keep it
just
clean,
can't get it out.
So, Leo, any comment from you on acrylic versus tile? From an inspection perspective?
It's all about maintenance. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so we'll talk
For me,
about
it's about maintenance and its coefficient of sliding friction.
we'll talk about the maintenance part and how to clean an acrylic tub because that's different than a tile tub. And then we're going to rapid fire a bunch of questions your way when we come back right after the break. So stick around.
Welcome home. I'm going to rapid fire some questions
You
to
do
our
it, Leo.
guest.
By the way, which one did you say you liked better?
Oh, I like acrylic
There
better.
it is.
I mean, because I was saying before the break about the maintenance.
Yes.
Acrylic's a lot easier to maintain.
Well, I did want to touch on that. It's almost maintenance free. I use Dawn soap and water. Plug for Dawn, I guess.
So there's no
Sorry.
scrubbing the grout line.
There's no scrubbing at all. It has lines that look like grout lines, of course. It's all laser cut, so we make it look like tile. But it's not actually grout. It's still acrylic, so super easy to clean. Mold
Quicker
and mildew.
install, too, right, than
Yes.
tile
Oh, yeah,
insulation.
for sure. And mold and mildew will not stick to it. And neither will soap scum. So I basically take some Dawn soap and water in a bottle, soap up the wall, spray it off, dry it with a towel, and I'm done.
And during the break, you were
No.
telling us you only shower twice a month.
Exactly. I bathe my dogs twice a month.
Okay, now it's time for rapid fire questions. Can potential customers see pictures of your previous work?
Oh, come on, Leo.
Absolutely.
You guys
That
probably
was
have a whole-
easy.
I didn't write these questions.
You're reading like a crazy news reporter.
I am a crazy news reporter.
Well, that's, yeah.
What
debatable.
permits are required to remodel a bathroom?
Well, let's go back to the first one
Okay,
first.
yes.
Our website, luxurybathoftambabay.com. We have before and after pictures. We have a design your own bathroom section where you can pick out wall colors.
That's
and
cool.
It's really cool. I play with it all the time.
And if you guys want to connect to, because we know sometimes our people are driving, they're in the car
Yeah,
listening to talk
sure.
radio. So you can call or text 813-377-2775, and we will connect you with Jennifer. Again, that's 813.
377-2775. I thought the point of rapid fire questions was
Go.
Rapidly fire
But
them.
we didn't get it out the last
Do
segment.
you use contractors or in-house employees?
Everybody
We already
is
talked about that.
Everybody is through luxury
It's on the
bath.
other side.
We do not outsource unless we absolutely, for some crazy reason, have to.
I keep trying to flip it, and he's like skipping it. So the warranty, that's a question that we got is, does the warranty cover labor? Because sometimes you get those crazy warranties, and you're like, yeah, we'll cover it, but no labor.
I hate those crazy warranties like that because it really misleads the customer. Our warranty covers product and labor, and part of that warranty is that it will never mold, mildew, stain, crack, or leak. So
Love it.
those are really important because some of our customers have just had horror stories.
Yeah, and is there any exceptions on that or no?
No.
Okay.
What about financing? Have we talked about that yet?
We do. We have a lot of creative financing packages.
I love creativity.
creative
And yes,
financing.
we do too. I think.
I don't know. Yeah,
I
what
don't
you
know if
got?
you're joking.
No, yeah, no, I love it.
It just really kind of depends on the price that the customer's looking at, credit, things of that nature. The design consultant will take care of everything for the customer right then and there.
Is there a cash discount?
There is a cash discount.
Look at there.
No, very
Absolutely.
Cash money, yo.
No, is
Yeah.
cash different than credit card versus check, or are we talking briefcase here? What are we talking?
I like the briefcase idea.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that
We're
would
waiting for a
that would
briefcase
all
printer.
be discussed at the appointment.
So we talked about you guys are in Palm Harbor. Where's
Correct.
your showroom located?
Our address is 33851 US Highway 19 North.
And where is that? Like
We
19 and
are
what?
19 in Nebraska.
What's a landmark by there
larger-
somebody would recognize?
There's a Carrabba's
Okay.
Italian restaurant across the street from Lucky Dill.
And so since you guys are a franchise model, how big is your territory, being that you're Tampa?
We service from as far south as Venice all the way up through Brooksville.
Wow. And then like how
all
far over to the
We do Lakeland, so pretty much this entire territory.
So
in
really,
here.
really big area.
Yes.
Do you guys do any reglazing at all or just the acrylic?
We do not do any reglazing. We don't like it. We feel like it's kind of like a misleading kind of product because, people will think it will last a very long time, and it doesn't.
You'd rather just put the acrylic in there.
Unfortunately.
It's like a roof over. Contractors don't
Yeah,
want to do
it-
stuff
I
over
was going to
bad
say, what's your
stuff.
thought about reglazing,
It
Leo?
is. We have customers that come in and they're like, oh, I thought it was going to last forever. And, I scrubbed it and it's scrubbed off. And they just end up replacing their walls or their shower pan.
You just
with
want them to go
acrylic.
straight to the acrylic anyway.
Why waste time and money if you're going to have to do it again in the future?
And speaking about financing, we had a deal that they said.
Yeah.
they were gonna
I
offer,
tried
right?
to get to that, but
Well,
paper was ripped out of my hand.
Before we
Well-
do, what advice do you have for our listeners that are looking to remodel their bathroom?
Absolutely. So if you are looking just for aesthetics reasons or for, issues, always good to meet with a company that, number one, has great reviews because customers don't lie. And we pride ourselves
They will
on...
leave that bad review. It's a lot harder to get a good one.
You are not kidding. So, but our customers, they'll go online. We have an A+ rating with Angie's List, with the Better Business Bureau. Those reviews are very important to us. And we always reach out to our customers to make sure that they're happy. And, if they ever need anything, we're right there. We've got a great customer service team. So do your homework. Make sure that the company that you're looking to hire, whether it's us or somebody else, that they have a great reputation, that they're a reputable company, and that their reviews, again, customers won't lie. And make sure that those reviews support what you're looking to have done.
Love it.
Now, the most important question I want to ask is what kind of special will you give to our 35,000 listeners?
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to offer an $800 discount to your bathroom projects, and you just have to mention the show.
Awesome.
Yes.
You
So
heard
if
it
you
here
mention,
first. I like
mention
it.
Tampa Home Talk or mention my name.
Yeah.
You can call or text. We'll do the connection. I'm sure you would honor that. $800
Absolutely.
off. That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
So our off your
That's
number.
a tub for my wife.
Oh, and
There you
the other thing I did want to mention is all of our estimates are free. So we come out,
Love
there's
that.
no charge, of course, and we will leave the customer with an itemized quote. So it's not just one answer at the bottom. Everything is
So you
broken
could
down.
Pick and choose. and-
Exactly.
I like that.
So
Exactly.
they can take some things out.
Exactly.
See what
We
the
can
budget.
change
See
it.
what works within the
You are
budgetary
absolutely
constraints
correct.
there.
Yes.
So our off your number, if you would like to connect with Jennifer, a luxury bath is 813-377-2775.
That's 813-377-2775.
Adam, what's the number? Do you know it?
813-377-2775. I almost said Pat's.
Just call or text Bath. And we'll get you connected with Jennifer. Thank you so much for being our guest
Yeah,
this
that was
hour.
great.
Thank you
This
so
is
much
fun.
for having me. It was a blast.
We enjoyed having you guys. It was great. How awesome is that a customer now works and advocates for the company? I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely.
This is Tampa Home Talk. I'm your host, Katrina Madewell, hanging out with Leo and Adam, and we will be back for hour number 2 right after this break. And in hour number 2, we're going to talk about Tampa Bay outperforms the national equity trends. We've been talking about that for a while, and we've got a plethora of guests for this next hour. So stick around. We're going to talk about some things affecting your credit, which I know everybody always wants to know how to get their credit score higher. Stick around. We'll be back for hour number 2.